I say October Scorpios are number one. Alright, so if you've seen the previous video, we was talking about how Sagittarius and Gemini pretty much like rule over communication, just for the simple fact that Mercury is a planet that deals with how we communicate, how we rationalize information, how we rationalize thoughts, and Mercury naturally rules over Gemini as well as Virgo. But given that Mercury rules over Gemini, and I stated that Sag is also a master of communication, Sag is directly opposite of Gemini on the zodiac wheel. Well, how can Sagittarius be a master of communication if it is opposite of Gemini? Well, that's just for the simple fact that Mercury, like I stated, it rules over communications, but it rules over communications as far as the communications that we make on a day-to-day basis with people in the physical realm, whereas Sagittarius, it deals with higher realms of communication, so communication that deals with things on the spiritual planes of existence, things that go beyond what we can just physically see. And we talk about our physical vision just for the simple fact that Sagittarius is a fire sign, and it deals with bringing things into the light, bringing things into view, into perspective, into view of all people. And it's causing us to merge our vision from multiple standpoints and see how the creator is able to move and reflect its light through each and every culture or each and every nation or region of people. But I say October Scorpios are number one at communication. And I also agree with that just for the simple fact that you got to think about it. Whenever you get Mercury in Scorpio, Mercury is the mind, it's the mental, right? So whenever you get Mercury in a water sign, well, water is the opposite of fire. Whereas fire is light, water is dark, because there are some parts of the ocean that get so deep that the rays of the light of the sun cannot penetrate to the farthest depths of the ocean. And so even with that, I had to take back some things that I just stated about the element of water. Whereas I stated that water is the opposite of light. Water is not just the opposite of light, but water also is light. And I also say that just for the simple fact that, well, you probably just like, well, how the fuck you say water is darkness, but you also saying that it's light? Well, water, it gets so dark and so deep that light cannot penetrate it. But that does not mean that some of the parts of the water cannot receive light just because it's water and it puts fire out. Well, there are some parts of the water that still have light within it. And that's where we talk about how water is able to play both sides of the field. Water can also be light as well as darkness. And so when we talk about the element of water being able to do both or play both sides, that's how water is able to reflect light. Whenever you look at yourself, or whenever you look at a surface or a body of water and you look at the surface of the water, you can see your reflection on the water. So water signs are able to reflect back to you your own image that you are projecting, even though it's water. And I have made a whole bunch of series on Scorpio Mercury, which y'all can go look at. Scorpio is a medium. Out of all three water signs, Scorpio is in the middle. It's the